choice of one of Sydney's teams.
It is time to go head-to-head on this with blogger Michael Ray in Melbourne and Tim Davies, who's here with us in the studio. So, Michael, I'm assuming since you're based in Melbourne that you're a Storm fellow, so you probably don't care if Sydney are to lose a team, but this decision is based on the fact that there are already 16 teams in the competition. Do you reckon it's the right move?
I saw the result of my dad losing his team in the AFL to Brisbane. It was Fitzroy. Shattered him. But I love a good derby, so it doesn't really bother me as long as Melbourne Storm triumph.
Well, Tim, you and I are from the Shire. The Cronulla Sharks is one of the teams that is kind of earmarked to go along with Manly and the Gold Coast Titans if this goes ahead.
Yeah.
They can't get rid of the Sharkies. How do you feel about potentially getting rid of a team?
Oh, look, I mean, I can imagine for any team it would be devastating to think that, you know, a team that you've followed and supported. I mean, the Cronulla Sharks, as an example, Jane, you know, has a very healthy little feeder club that I once played for, De La Salle. You know, the juniors sort of moving through and playing rugby league in that local area. Of course, it would be a huge loss, but I think we need to look at the big picture here for the good of the game. And much will be said today about the proposal here to bring a new team to Brisbane. Look, I think it is for the good of the game, but perhaps the NRL...
We're going to revoke your Shire citizenship for saying...
Well, I'm not saying that they need to get rid of the Sharks. Like, we'll have to wait and see what the NRL... Ultimately, it is the NRL's decision on what they do here. But I think in terms of growing the game, it is one option that they certainly need to consider. Also, they need to look at junior levels, much like what their AFL has done with their Auskick campaigns, and we've really seen big growth of the game because ultimately the problem is people are not going to the rugby league games. We want to see those crowd numbers build. We want to see memberships go up. Perhaps this is one way of doing it.
Well, Michael, so we've got two Cronulla Sharks fans here and I support Manly. So you decide who's the team that has to go?
Oh, I don't want to be chased down by the angry horde, so I'll just say again, go Melbourne Storm.
Oh, what a fence sitter if ever I've seen one.
Well, I think we might all agree on this one, though. Today's Father's Day, and a new survey from the University of Newcastle has revealed that toddlers whose fathers play with them using warmth and encouragement then go on to have better results in maths and reading when they go to primary school. Tim, spending quality time with any parent is beneficial, but this is specifically the dads, I guess, because kids already spend a lot of time with their mums, and it's the way the dads play with them. Does it ring a bell with you?
Oh, absolutely. I can very fondly remember having Dad hover over our shoulders while we were doing our homework. And, you know, of course, Mum seemed to be the real wheelhouse when it came to, you know, getting our schoolwork done, but Dad was always there, and I've got photos, I might even put one on Instagram a bit later today, of Dad reading me a bedtime story when I was a little thing. So, you know, of course, it's a given. You would think warmth and attention like that is going to help anyone. It doesn't matter in what regard, whether you're a child or even an adult.
That was very nice, Tim. And Michael, I mean, you're a single father of a beautiful little girl. Can you relate to this?
Oh, definitely. The funny thing is now there's a whole lot of new studies that have come out in the last 20 years. They didn't even study the father effect, and now it turns out that dads have a long-lasting effect that goes right through to adolescence and early through childhood, better literacy, better social skills, all the rest of it, that is right across the spectrum, even allowing for socio-economic and disadvantage. There's still an improvement. But for all the mums that are worried without a dad, there are so many positive role models, male role models available as well. So uncles, grandfathers, teachers and coaches. So all of that has a flow-on effect as well.
I was going to say that because obviously there are going to be people watching this who don't have dads in their lives, and you know, you don't want to make those people feel bad. It must be a terrible feeling, but there are male role models, as you said. How important do you think it is to find those male role models in your family and in your community for your children, Michael?
Oh, they're vital, absolutely vital. At the moment, there's a bit of a crisis in male gender type things all going on, but there are so many positive role models to go out there. So it's what we highlight and what we emphasise as good traits in other males, because boys seem to look outside of the family for role models as well, so heroes and things like that, whereas girls will look internally.
Yeah.
And Tim, we know you're a funkle, a fun uncle, so you're
like to
one of
think
those
so.
male role models.
Yes, 5 nephews and a niece, and yes, I like it when my brothers or my sister-in-laws will ask me to, you know, take part in school projects and things like that. So yeah, it's good to step up and take charge of something like that and have an influence, because it doesn't matter who you are, you've got the opportunity to do it. So give it a go.
Well, we're celebrating all things fathers today. So, Michael, you enjoy your Father's Day with your gorgeous little girl. We'll just seeing pictures of her